Republic Bank EC Limited has introduced Mrs. Pamela Herbert Daniel as its country manager for the banking operations in St. Kitts and Nevis. According to a press release from Republic Bank, Mrs. Herbert Daniel has had a 32-year career in banking, climbing the Bank of Nova Scotia's hierarchy and increasing her regional banking experience with each step. She has worked in St. Kitts as personal banking manager and branch manager, in Anguilla as a managing director, and more recently as country head in St. Vincent. She has also held the roles of both chairperson and director of the Scotiabank Anguilla Limited Board. Mrs. Herbert Daniel, the release said, is an accredited director with Chartered Secretaries Canada and has completed the Canadian Institute for Bankers program. Mrs. Herbert Daniel's appointment follows the acquisition of the operations of Bank of Nova Scotia by Republic Financial Holdings Limited. Republic Bank opened its 3 branches, staffed by more than 60 employees, to the public on Friday, November 1st, 2019. With a diverse network of 118 branches in 14 territories and more than 5,900 employees, Republic Bank has been building relationships with stakeholders and serving customers for 182 years, the release continued. The bank will soon introduce its Power to Make a Difference corporate social responsibility program to St. Kitts and Nevis. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline.
As the 2019 Tourism Month gets underway, Minister of Tourism Lindsay Grant is calling on stakeholders to help lift the island's level of tourism competitiveness. The minister was speaking in response to Skn Newsline's query during a recent press conference about the future tourism potential for St. Kitts and Nevis. Citing over 250 historical sites on which the Ministry of Tourism is making improvements, the minister said that history and heritage play significant roles in tourism development in the country.
In today's tourism, the whole Caribbean has sun, sand, and sea, and we are not too competitive in the area of beaches. And so a niche market has to be our historical sites and the preservation and what we do with them. But I just want to say that for me, tourism as it stands right now is playing a pivotal role in terms of our economic development. From the World Travel and Tourism Council's last statistics, 25% of the jobs in St. Kitts and Nevis is attributable to tourism, 26% of the GDP. And so it's very important that as citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, we pay careful attention to what we have in the development of tourism.
In March, in Seville, Spain, the World Travel and Tourism Council recognized St. Kitts and Nevis for its destination stewardship, inclusive of historical preservation. Minister Grant wants stakeholders to create more unique tours in order to raise the level of competitiveness as the new cruise pier goes into operation soon.
Was par excellence and #1 in the world. And so we have something to follow. I must say that this month, November, is Tourism Month. It started November 1st. We have a number of activities on the agenda for the month. In fact, just today, we have a stakeholder meeting at the Marriott at 6 o'clock. We brought in the operations team from the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association to talk to the tourism stakeholders, to tell them the state of the industry in tourism, not only in St. Kitts and Nevis, but in the Caribbean and the world in general, and to position and to say where we are positioned and what we need to do. I must say that, yes, we're building a brand new pier, what it is, $100 and something million EC. But I must alert the country that we're in a competitive space. That pier really should have come maybe 4 years ago and would have done us well. Now that it has come, we have serious competition just around us. We have serious competition in Antigua, which is now building a pier to match ours, to make sure they also compete against us with the Oasis class. We have Tortola and so many around us. And so what do? Because we are all competing for the same market share. And so, come back to the history. It's important for us then to create unique tours that no other destination has. And I could tell you one, and you know it very well, Brimstone Hill. We need to do something about that.
Meanwhile, some preservation work has begun at ruins of the old sugar factory at Kitstedat, whose operations were closed in 2005 when the country went out of sugar production. Glenn Bart for Skn Newsline.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like your boat when you're at sea and you get away from everything. Your home and the security of your daughter's things. And the car that you've had for too long, but after all these years, you just can't let go. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Now you can have Skn Newsline on the go. Introducing Skn Newsline Android mobile app. Search Skn Newsline in the Google Play Store. Download the app free and stay up to date with TV news in St. Kitts and Nevis in the palm of your hands. With this app, you can watch your news reports, watch our live news feed on Skn Newsline TV, engage with us and other app users in the chat room, look at our special features, send us news tips, and call us directly. It's news on the go. The Skn Newsline Android mobile app. Download it free today.
The Caribbean commands a significant portion of the global cruise business, said Mitchell Page, the president of the Florida Caribbean Cruise Association, FCCA. The FCCA represents most of the major cruise lines now operating in the Caribbean and elsewhere. According to Page, continued dialogue between the authorities in Caribbean destinations and the cruise lines is important to the future potential for growth in the cruise industry. The FCCA president also wants tourism stakeholders in St. Kitts and Nevis to ensure quality service and unique experiences are offered to both passengers and crews, and that they can maximize the economic benefits there.
I wish I could tell you something that is bad so we can make it better, but in looking at the scores from the BRIA study, you can consistently score 1 to 7 out of 35 in everything across the board. So you've done very well. But as I said, you're only allowed to pat yourself on the back tonight. When you walk out those doors, what you have to think about is, how can I reinvest? Revigorate whatever I'm doing. Tell a better story. Talk to those passengers about coming back again. Showcase to them what's unique, special, different about your culture, the history, all of the things that make you special. When you go back to bed tonight, think about how can you reinvest in your product. That's your lifeblood.
Page said that stakeholders must cross-sell the visitors on things that they can do and make the destination exciting enough to encourage cruise passengers and crews to consider St. Kitts and Nevis as a place to vacation. Glenn Bart for Skn Newsline.
The second phase of Ocean Grove, one of the latest developments at Christophe Harbour at the Southeast Peninsula, is taking shape. Invited guests and the media had a chance recently to tour sections of the project, which is under construction. The project is comprised of luxury cottages, reflecting a blend of local architecture and artisanship and modern styles. Nuri Katz, founder of Apex Capital Partners, who are part of the development team of the project, at a short ceremony Friday, was keen to point out the high involvement of locals in the construction and design of the project.
We decided that to capture the spirit, we needed to go local. We wanted the walls of our properties to seep of St. Kitts and Nevis. And we knew that the only way to capture this spirit would be to go local, and that's sort of become now our theme of our development. When I say that we decided to go local, I meant that I wanted everyone involved in this project to be Katish and the vision. I believe in the people of this federation, and I know it could be done and done here and done right. And the only way that we would really get this spirit is if we used the hands and minds of Katishans and Navisions.
Mr. Katz said he was warned that he could not do this project all local.
Believe me, I was warned. I was warned that we couldn't do everything all local. It would be too expensive, mistakes would be made. It's unbelievable the kinds of warnings that I got. People made fun of me. It was terrible. But I think everybody on our team wanted to prove the naysayers wrong. We wanted to prove it could be done. And the team worked really, really hard and came up with what we believe is a beautiful project.
Local architect Lingbird Alvaranga is one of the local persons working on the project and spoke at the ceremony. According to information on the Christoph Harbour website, each villa has 2 en-suite bedrooms, generous outdoor living space, and an array of furnishing options. While a definitive cost and completion date have not yet been determined, Mr. Katz assured that developers are committed in finalizing the project. Andre Huey, Skn Newsline. St. Kitts and Nevis women's football team have been drafted in Group B of the Women's CONCACAF Olympic qualifying final stage, which will be played in the U.S. in January. St. Kitts and Nevis will play against Canada, Mexico, and Jamaica in Group B, while Group A comprises the USA, Costa Rica, Panama, and Haiti. The top 2 teams from each group will compete in the semifinals to be played in February, and the 2 finalists will automatically qualify for the Olympics. Coach of the St. Kitts and Nevis women's team, Janae Boklowski, said she is looking forward to the competition in January and has high hopes for the Sugar Girls.
I am excited about the draw. I'm looking forward to seeing what St. Kitts and Nevis can do against the countries on a bigger level. I think that the group that we've qualified for, that we were drew into Group B, is going to be a challenge. But I think that there's a chance that we're going to surprise people with the way that we can play, especially in our preparation leading up to the games in January. Drawing Canada, Mexico, and Jamaica is certainly a challenging group. I do think that Group A might have an easier path, even though, of course, the United States and their record and their home field that they're going to have, being able to play in Houston will be an advantage for them, of course. But when you go down to McAllen, where we're playing, it's a neutral territory. It's going to be a wonderful place to play. I've been to McAllen. The facilities are beautiful. The people are great. The environment is top-notch and professional. And it will be something that I think will help our program, our federation, these players feel comfortable and be able to perform to their best.
She's particularly looking forward to the clash with Mexico.
Mexico, I'm sure they are hungry after not making the World Cup qualification last year. They play a possessive style. They play fast. They will have a very much of a home crowd because the stadium that we'll be playing in McAllen is less than 10 miles from the border of Mexico. So I expect that will be a very fun environment for the St. Kitts Nevis team to play them in. It'll probably be very similar to the environments that we had in Trinidad when we played Trinidad and Port of Spain earlier this fall. It will be an exciting match. I expect it will be a fast match for us as well. But I think we will be able to give them a great game and hopefully it'll be a success for us.
As for Jamaica and Canada, Coach Janae knows it will be a tough challenge.
Being able to play against Canada, I think, will be a good test for us. They are always known for how strong they are and how physical they play. They have had some great experiences, although I know that they have gone through a coaching change recently, so it will be interesting to see which players are selected and what they look like on the field. Jamaica, I know that they had a tremendous show in France this past summer, being able to qualify for the World Cup, but I also know that they've gone through some changes as their coach Hugh is looking to create some stability for their national program. Same thing, I think that there'll be a very good competition for us and that and that we might be able to surprise them. So I think we have a definite chance to get to the semifinals out of our group.
Whatever the outcome, the coach believes this experience will do well for the women's football program in St. Kitts and Nevis.
I'm looking forward to getting the players together for camp, and getting focused, getting our fitness back together so we can be mentally and physically prepared for qualifications going forward in January. This is a great moment for the women's team, for the senior team, not only for the current players that are on the roster, but also for future players and for the strength of our federation going forward. So it's going to be wonderful to be able to play on a bigger stage, to bring attention to the great things that the St. Kitts and Nevis Federation is doing for women's soccer, and to even grow more interest for the game at home. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm ready. We're hungry and looking forward to get after it.
Janae Buklowski, coach of the St. Kitts Nevis women's football team. The Sugar Girls raised eyebrows in October when they defeated Trinidad and Tobago 4-0 in the Caribbean stage of the Olympic qualifying. That victory was following a 0-0 draw against the Dominican Republic and a 3-1 thrashing of St. Lucia. They ended the competition on a high with an 8-0 thumping of Antigua and Barbuda to book their spot into the final stages of Olympic qualifying. All the best to the Sugar Girls.
Banners, commercial signs, decal printing, canvas print, license plates, posters. We at Multigraphics are dedicated to providing quality products and service to our customers. Our team takes pride in the craftsmanship and is passionate about its work. Every job, large or small, is important. Most of our customers come to us through referrals. That's because our number one priority is service. We serve a wide variety of customers, such as restaurants, retail stores, manufacturers, trucking companies, and many more. Our capabilities include design, production, and installation. How can we help? We are located at Bird Rock at the Woods Right compound. Call us at 869-763-1511 or 784-491-7599. Multigraphics.
Online radio has never been this great. It's Voice of the Caribbean Radio at voiceofthecaribbean.net. Tune in for Caribbean music and programs, news, sports, entertainment, vibrant discussions, and much more. Tune into programs like Get Up Mornings with Carl D. Springett, live on weekday mornings. Let's Talk St. Kitts and Nevis with Andre Huey. The Caribbean News Hour and The Quiet Storm with Magic Man. Tune into great music to inspire you each day, only on Voice of the Caribbean Radio at www.voiceofthecaribbean.net or on our Android mobile app in the Google Play Store. Just search Voice of the Caribbean. We're also on TuneIn Radio. Voice of the Caribbean Radio, reaching the Caribbean and beyond. Check our website for program listings.
For all your printing needs at top-notch quality, go to Digital Print Plus, located on Princess Street, Bastyr, St. Kitts. At Digital Print Plus, you get the best in business cards, letterheads, envelopes, wristbands, tent cards, rack cards, flyers, brochures, logo designs, posters, photos, architectural designs, 3D renderings, and so much more. Digital Print Plus gives you the best quality at competitive prices. Contact us at 767-7468 or email digitalprintskn@gmail.com or follow us on Facebook at digitalprintskn. Digital Print Plus, for all your printing needs at the best quality.